Am I live? Oh, okay. Whew. All right. Hello. Welcome to Shavuot. I'm just waiting to see if anybody pops on. Today we're going to be working on the yellow chair that we painted. It looks good. When I was painting it yesterday morning, I felt like I had the first coat on. Is that what I did? The first coat. And wait a minute, I put the second coat on. Okay, so I painted it Friday night with one coat of the Queen Bee. This is the Queen Bee. And then yesterday, we looked at it, and it was pretty, like, it didn't cover that well. It needed another coat. So, hi Karen, how are you? Thanks for coming on. We're painting this chair. I don't know if you saw any of the other ones, but it was brown varnish, and we painted it with Queen Bee. We did a red one too, with the Iron Orchid Designs Botanist Journal transfer. So when we finish, when this one's going to have the Botanist Journal transfer, Botanist Journal? I don't know. It's going to have that one as well. So I put 2 coats on of the Kissing Booth on this. I did not prime this chair at all. It was, I had another one over there. I don't know if you can see it. Over there, see that one? It's just like that brown one over there. And see, it had a very high shine to it, a high varnish. And I didn't do anything to prep it because the clay-based paint, the DIY clay-based paint, usually goes on, covers pretty much everything. So I didn't prep this chair other than to clean it. But then the second coat I was putting on yesterday morning live, and it just wasn't covering very well. I think it probably could have maybe used a little sand, I'm not sure. So I just kept going, put the second coat on, thinking I'm going to need a third coat. And I looked at it this morning, and I was very happy. It didn't look bad. So it looks really good now because I did go around this chair where I did see some bleed through. I don't know if it was bleed through, but just a little bit of the varnish I was still seeing. So I just went around it, again, around the whole chair, but not a complete coat, because it didn't really need a complete coat. I was really happy. I thought I was gonna come down. I thought I was gonna have to sand it, and try to, and maybe put another heavy coat on, but I didn't have to. So this chair, though, it did take 2.5 coats, and it's because of the high varnish that was already on the chair. And it used about, this is the jar, I would say about 80% of this jar for this whole chair, 2.5 coats. So that's not bad. Considering these 8-ounce sample sizes are $13. So that went a long way, and I still have more left for another project, so that's good. Hi Melanie, hi Barbara. I am waving to you guys because this thing gives me the wave option. Am I waving? Did you get a wave? So here's the chair. So what we're going to do today, I think everyone I have right on is furniture painters today. So that means I got to do good because you guys I'm new at this. I just started this in, I don't know, in the spring, late summer, so it's not been a year. So everything I'm doing when I'm doing it, it's pretty new to me. So the next step, I did have somebody ask on my first live. I was putting transfers on a chair. Hi, happy Friday. Yay. I was putting transfers on a chair on my first live, and of course, somebody was saying, "But Janice, how do you begin? Like, where do you start?" So that's why I said, "Oh yeah, you're right. So let's just start from the beginning." So this is day 3 of this chair. So we did the 2 coats. I did a half coat earlier today. It's pretty dry. So now the next step would be, I think, to decide if I want to sand it, because we're going to be putting Botanist's Journal on this yellow chair. Do you see that? So we're going to be putting these transfers on the chair, and what I want to do is seal the chair before I put the transfers on. Thank you. Hey, you just handed me a sanding block. Because I have heard that when you seal the piece of furniture before the transfers, that the transfers go on a little bit easier. But when you, I have an audience. I don't like that. Bye. So when you, what am I saying? I forget. Yeah, so once it's sealed, you can't sand. And I want some sanding done on this. So first thing I'm going to do tonight, we're going to sand and seal. Okay. I have I have like a 120 grit, and I have, oh God, I don't even know what these are. Maybe an 80. I have a feeling this is not going to be easy to sand. So let's get to it. I hope everybody's doing good. All right. Now, okay. Now remember, can you guys see this? Is this light too much? Is that better? Can you see it? Let's go up higher. All right, so can you see it? It seems like I should close my blinds or something. It's that time of the night where it's getting a little dusky outside. All right, that might be better. Sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna start sanding. Okay, can you guys see this? All right, so now the look I'm going for the sanding is not a chippy effect. I do not want a chippy effect on these chairs. I want just a worn effect. So I'm just going to sand it. Let me see if you can see this arm right here. Okay, so here's the arm. So I'm just gonna sand it around. I don't know if you notice when I do that, it just brightens the color. So gives it a little bit of a worn effect. So I'm gonna do that around all the edges of this chair. Some of the brown is coming through, and I'm okay with that, even though I just said I didn't want the chippy effect, but the reason why I'm okay with it is because we're going to be putting a lot of transfers on here. So this is just my fiance's t-shirt. That's what is a good thing to use for wiping the excess paint away. Look at that. That is so cool. I don't know if you can see that. Like all of these, like just like tons of clay is just coming off. It's really neat. So I'm just gonna go around. Actually, I'm sanding for two reasons I should have mentioned. I'm also sanding to get a nice smooth finish, because I did stipple this paint on to get it to be a much thicker coat. Gave it a little bit of texture. That was my water bottle. Sorry about that. Well, it doesn't take much to do. I think this one is an 80 grit. And it's working really good. And because the paint has been on here for a while, like over 24 hours, it has really hardened. If I wanted to get more of a chippy effect, I could reactivate the paint, and you reactivate the paint by wetting it with a continuous sprayless bottle that I showed you guys before. And that would reactivate the paint so that I might be able to do a little bit of wet distressing if I wanted to expose more of the dark wood underneath. But I don't really want to, so this is working fine. This is working great. Well, that's not too bright. I have my transfers over here. Okay, so I've got my big top with me because this is how I'm going to seal the paint. I'm going to seal it with a DIY big top. It's a sealer that, the reason why I'm using this one is because it's a little shiny. It does leave, it's a very sturdy finish, which is really good for chairs, especially these chairs, which are going around a dining room table, so they're gonna get a lot of use. I don't know if you can see how sanding here just kind of brightens up the edges a little bit. Just giving it a little bit of a brighter look. When I did this on the red chair, when I sanded it like this, it got a little pink around the edges. So just looks a little worn. I love sanding. I don't know about you guys, but I love sanding. I love feeling the wood when it's nice and smooth like that. I just want to make sure I get the whole thing before we move on to the wax. Not sure if we're going to get to the transfers tonight. I really want to make sure that if I do the transfers tonight, that I have I might need a little bit of guidance. The last time I did the transfers, I don't know about you guys, have you ever done transfers live with an audience? Because we've done transfers, right? And you need to think when you do the transfers, right? Because I do. That botanist journal, this one right here with the sunflower, decor transfer botanist journal. It's absolutely beautiful. It has this huge sunflower that we put on the red chair. Make you guys dizzy. I feel bad. I'm horrible at this. I have to invest in a much nicer, oh, it's too dark, but see, there it is. Whoop! There it is. See, you got the sunflower on there and some of the purple flowers and the vine going down the leg. So it's beautiful. I love that. So what I have on the red chair is about half of the sheet of this botanist journal. So there is a lot going on these transfers. And the flowers on this particular transfer were very, very close together. So because I was picking and choosing and cutting out pieces of it for the red chair, because I didn't want to use the whole thing, it was complicated. It was complicated to get, because all the flowers were kind of like on top of each other. So I ended up having to just cut. I had to, just be free and not think about it and just kind of cut it any way that I wanted. And then I put it back on the chair kind of like a puzzle. So maybe that's just my inexperience with using them. But I do believe that these transfers that have so much going on and you want to transfer them onto a small space, you're going to have to just kind of just let your scissors do the walking and just kind of cut them the best that you can, because there's no mistakes. There's no mistakes in this DIY shabby chic world. There's no mistakes. It always comes out beautiful. So I cut the rest of the transfer up into little pieces. So we've got this beautiful red flower on this yellow chair. Is going to look amazing. This flower from the Botanist Journal, I am madly in love with. I don't know why. You would think I thought the sunflower was going to be my favorite, but this flower would have looked awesome on the red, but I couldn't really kind of get it in that puzzle on the red. So I'm definitely putting this one on the yellow. And we even have a bluebird on this transfer. So I want the bluebird, whoop, where are you? Hello. So I want the bluebird on this chair as well. But before we start playing with that, we need to put a sealer on this paint. I'm being a little, making sure I have this right, because once the sealer's on, I'm not going to be able to sand it anymore. Because that's going to just... like powder flying off this chair. Clay. All right, guys. What do you think? What do you think, you guys? Do you think that I should put Big Top on this? Needs to be sanded just a little bit more. So thick and gives so much texture. It just needs a little bit of attention before I decide it's done. I want it to feel nice and smooth. This side needs it right here. You can tell just by rubbing your hands over the paint if it feels a little bumpy. I did stipple this paint on, so it's going to be a little bumpy, but I just still want it to be kind of smooth to the touch. So these chairs are pretty, aren't they? I love these chairs. When they were brown, like that one over there that I showed you before, like that one over there, I didn't love it as much. But I knew when I saw Botanist Journal and that sunflower, that's what sparked this whole project. So I have 4 of these chairs. And now I'm going to, this is my second one. And I don't know, I need help. Do you have anybody out there who's done Big Top underneath their transfer? I think that if I do this though, I might have to wait till tomorrow to put the transfer on. Whoop, I can't open this. Because I think I heard somebody say that on one of her videos. I'm going to shake it up really good. Okay, I'm rethinking this. I don't know if you can tell. I am rethinking this because I am not very thrilled about the idea of putting the sealer on so soon. I think I'm going to just put a transfer on. See how it goes on. Now, the rules of putting a sealer on before a transfer is really up to you. It's you'll have to, everyone will have to do their due process and see what works for them. The red chair I did not seal beforehand, so, and it worked. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna go with my gut. I always go with my gut. That's what I gotta do. And where is that thing? My brayer. And put a transfer on. I'm looking for my brayer. Okay. What I want to do is, I want to put this, whoops, I'm going to get you guys over here. I want to put this fern from my transfer on this leg. I need to get you behind me. Can you see it? On this leg, if I can find my brayer. Where'd it go? All right, so here goes. Can you see? Okay. Now, I really like this leaf right in the corner there. Yep, I'm just gonna do it. I've committed. So we just take the brayer that comes with, this is not the one that came with the IOD. This one came with a redesign with Prima transfer. So it's a little, this one is brown. The IODs are a white, clear one, and that's what we used on the other chair, the red chair. So you just scrape it on. And the transfer will begin to release the image. The image will begin to release from this plastic. And you'll know because the image turns white. So when it gets off the plastic and goes onto your furniture, it looks white. And you can test it. You can gently lift it. It's a beautiful day here in Rhode Island. Where are you guys from? The sun I love this time of the night in the summer. In the winter, it's freezing cold and pitch black, and I don't love it then, but this time of the year, at this time of the night, oh my God, it's gorgeous. So it is taking a little bit of energy to get this transfer on, but it's worth it. this green looks really pretty with the yellow, the queen bee. Apollo, what's the matter? That's my doggy. That's Apollo. He's protecting me from the mean, bad people who are outside walking their dog. And I'm inside now. Oh, see, these things are funny because they just decide when they're ready. And it's great. You're like, can be scraping, and then it just, all of a sudden you'll hear that noise, like the plastic just kind of crinkling, and it's letting you know, yep, I'm done. I am transferred. I wasn't ready to make a final commitment on the big top. It just didn't feel right to me. I had it planned all day that that's what I was going to do. And then when it came right down to it, I couldn't do it. That's the whole creative process that goes on in your mind. It's what you think is going to be. A lot of times it doesn't turn out that way. Now, there's a couple of little ridges here on this seat, so I'm just, you want to go with that. So I take the brayer and I just put it, because it'll go into the ridges. You don't want it going over the ridges. You want it to go, in, so that it's see how it's releasing? So cool. I just love that. There it goes. Whoop, 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 whoop. The camera looks like, I don't know. To me, it looks like there's a horrible glare from this beautiful evening. I don't know if you can see. And then the same here. See how there's a ridge? Just kind of go with it. And it's going to wrap around a little bit. I'm having a little bit of a tear here. Oh, that's okay. So the top part is on, but it was starting to get a little, I'm gonna do my surgery here. So if something like that happens, you press it down with your fingers. Take this plastic over it and just continue to use the brayer on there to get it on. And when you have it on, you want to just rub your fingers around. It's called burnishing, I think, is what I've heard them say. You want to just make sure everything is on there nice and smooth, nothing's sticking up. Nothing's really sticking up, so I'm just doing this just to be on the safe side, but okay, so this for some reason broke off. So I'm going to put this back on. And I want to make sure I'm going to have to cut it with the scissors. Looks pretty though, doesn't it? This green with the queen bee. Oh, I wonder if it was this way. Was it this way? Or was it this way? Uh-oh. Now I don't know. I think it was definitely this way. This fern right here that I'm putting on this chair was a no-brainer for me as far as where I'm about to place everything. I knew right away when I saw this fern that it was going on this leg. I am trying, even though all the chairs are going to be different colors, and the flowers will be, even though it's from the same transfer, there's so many different flowers on the transfer that this chair will not have the same kind of flowers as that chair. But to keep them uniform, what I'm trying to do is keep the flowers, or keep the transfer kind of in the same spot on each chair. So on the first chair, I had the flowers going down the leg. Going down, what side is this? The right side, left side? I think it's the right side. So I did the same thing. So I'm going to do that on all of the chairs, I think. Unless I switch sides on the other two, but it'll basically be the same thing. Basically be the same format. Come on. Should lower you guys. There you go. Did any of you guys follow Debbie's Design Diary? I'm sure you do. This DIY paint that I'm using is Debbie Beard of Debbie's Design Diary. She is on YouTube. She is a furniture painter and a storyteller on YouTube, and I am so fortunate that I am able to work with her and be a retailer for her paint, because she's a wonderful, wonderful person, and her paint is a wonderful, wonderful product. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. This just kind of happened when I started watching Debbie. The whole process of furniture painting with clay-based paint has brought so much peace and joy to my life that I wanted to take a bigger part in it and open up my own business, which my business is called Shabalot. I have a website called shabalot.com where I sell Debbie's DIY clay-based paint and her brushes and Iron Orchid Designs transfers, which is what this is. And it's really giving me a lot of making me work out. And you know what? I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit down and move all of these out of the way. Oh, there's the brayer. Maybe I should use that brayer. Maybe that'll work better. I was using the brayer from a different one. So, all right, now I've got the IOD brayer. Well, maybe that'll help me. Come on. Let's go. Okay. This little guy right here is not wanting to go on. They're not difficult by any means. It's just keeps your focus. It's actually quite relaxing, and it's exciting to wait and see what it's going to look like when it's done. That's it. Come on. See how I'm pulling it from the top? That's very helpful. So you can see how when you pull it, if it comes right off, then you know it's released. But if it's stuck a little bit, you just give it some help. Right? Just give it some help. Don't rip it off because it's not ready yet. But if you move slowly down, give it a chance, it'll come off. Almost there. There we go. There. It's all off. It's on, I should say. So, you want to feel it. Make sure that this is from me. You see that? I can just touch that up with some paint later. You just want to feel it, make sure it's on there. I mean, it's on there. I just like to just do this just to soften up the edges. So that is the start of the transfer, the IOD transfer on this chair. And do you see? So it was, yeah, see that noise? That's not on there all the way. right where these little grooves are. So I want to make sure it gets in those grooves. Okay. All right. So now that looks good. That looks really good. I like that a lot. Yeah, see how it just kind of on the side of the chair like that? That's like how it's doing it out over there. I really like that. We can do another one. This is the flower that I said before that I love, and I really want this flower to be the star of the show on this chair. So this chair, the star of the show, star flower of the show is the sunflower. This chair, it has to be this guy. So, I'm going to put this one on, but I have to figure out where I'm going to put it. I did, on that one, I just kind of draped the stems down on the seat like this, and then kind of worked up like that. So this also has a purple plant right there. So if I put this, if I place this here, I don't want to cover up the fern I just did. I'd rather cover that up. So I'll put it right about there. It's going to stand in front of you, but I want to make sure it's straight. Yeah, I'm going to put it right here. And then this is the top piece. That we'll figure out where we're going to do that later. Okay. Oh, where's my brayer? Why do I keep losing my brayer? Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, so you leave the backing on. I don't always do that. I know I'm bad. When you're trying to figure out placement, you want to leave the backing on because it'll start to stick, and you don't want that. You don't want it to start to stick where you don't want it, because once it starts sticking, you're committed. But you can always work with it. You can always work with it. If there's anything that you're not thrilled about, you just keep going. To be honest, I wasn't thrilled with that chair when I first laid down the, okay, I'm committed now. Is that straight? When I first laid down that transfer on that red chair, because I was doing it with everybody online, and my focus was not there. I feel like I have a little bit more focus today. And so when I looked at the transfer that I had done when I looked at it the next day, I didn't really love the placement of how I did it. So what I did was I brought the chair into my living room, and I placed it in front of my couch while I had my coffee and watched the news, and I just stared at it. I stared at that chair and the placement of the decor, the transfer. And that's when I just went back to the sheet and just cut up the sheet. I just cut it all up into pieces, not little pieces, you see, big pieces. I'd see one flower and I'd cut that, and not worry about all of the other stems that don't, like this stem does not belong to this flower, but that's okay, because by the time I get all of them on here, they'll all match up. I wouldn't leave it to be such a jumbled mess. So in the end, I was happy with the way it came out, and that is probably, that's true a lot of times. These products and this work, it's a journey. And that's why I like it, because I'm not a perfectionist. I can't sit down and just, nothing ever works out right for me the first time. So, and there's the ridges again. So I'm just gonna put the brayer right in that ridge to get that. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Nope. So this is the stem to that big purple, flower I just showed you. So we're gonna put that one on top when this one's done. So I guess, not with this project, but my next project that I do with a transfer, I'm definitely going to consider waxing first. I might even consider waxing on my next chair first, because I want to see if that'll make these release easier. Because I don't think, I don't feel like it should be taking this long, and I don't want to give you guys the wrong idea. It's always good to try things out and see how it works. I mean, not sealing this chair before the transfer is not going to hurt this transfer. It's still going to be bonded to this chair. No matter what, this transfer is tattooed on this chair, whether I seal the chair or not. Come on. Okay, it's not being good. But all of a sudden, it's just going to make the decision, and it's just going to release. I'm going to be a little patient. But I'm just... Why isn't this coming out? Alright, maybe I'll go back to the flower. Coming off easier on the top here. So this is my 5th live of 30. I'm going on my Facebook page. You're on Shabalot's business page, Facebook business page. This is where I do my lives, and I'm going to be doing 30. I've done 5, so I have 25 more to go. That's 25 more projects. But it's going to be awesome in the end to see all of the things that we have done together. my hand doesn't fall off before. So it's coming off easier on the top here. I'm not sure what the situation is down here, but it's definitely releasing much easier up here. The first time I saw somebody do a transfer, it was Kelly Weiler of Girl Upcycled Studio. She's in Ohio. She's a beautiful artist. And the first time I ever saw anybody do a transfer, it was her. And she had this big long bureau, like big as this table, on its back. I think she was sitting on the floor. And she was putting this big, huge transfer. I don't think she cut the transfer. I don't remember which one. It wasn't this one. And she put the whole transfer on. I don't think it was like a server, like a hutch side table thing. I don't know. And I thought when I saw that, oh my God, look at that. Look at what she's doing. That is amazing. I never thought in a million, I didn't know that I would be doing this too. It looked scary. Yeah, it's coming up. I might be being too overly protective with this transfer. It's coming up now. It's very humid today. I don't know if that's got something to do with it. It's really hot and humid in this house, and I put the air conditioning on right before I came on, but now that I think about it, because she just did it in the one piece, that's nice if you can just do that and not have to, cut up the pieces too. So there's all different ways to do these things. It looks really pretty. I will show you as soon as, if this guy decides he wants to come off, I will show you. All right. Ta-da! Woo! Done. Yay! So, let's see if I can show you this beautiful flower. I love it. I'm so excited. We're going to bring you up higher. Bring you up higher. And then turn you down. See if that'll work. There we go. I probably should have had that like that when I was doing it. But see, now we have, whoop, I'm gonna go right over here. So now we have the fern going down the leg, halfway down the leg, and that beautiful red flower on the seat. Now one thing that you may notice is that these transfers have the look of already being sanded. Not all of them, but a lot of them. This one definitely looks like, so when you see it, you don't want to think, oops, see that one needs to be burnished. You don't want to think that that was something you did wrong. Like, oh, why isn't this all like completely red? What is all that white? It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to give the look of being already being a little vintage. it's going along with this whole shabby chic vintage vibe that we've got going on here. Yellow and red. Oh, I love them. I love these two colors together. And then this is that groove. You want to make sure it's in that groove really good. And it's, even if it tears in that groove, it's okay, because you won't notice. It's fine if it tears. I mean, that's what it should probably tear, because otherwise it's just going over it, and you want it in there. So I'm just feeling around, see if there's anything that needs to be attended to. Okay, so that's 2 of them. The next one I'm going to put on is this purple one, because this purple one goes right here. It lines up right with that. I need my glasses. So can you see that? Not pretty? So it goes up a little further, that design, the taller pieces over here, but I don't want them exactly the same, so I'm not, but they're similar, but not exactly the same. I'm going to go ahead and do this one, just because it's there and it's perfect. Until I mess it up. It's there. I'm going to put this beautiful flower, purple flower now, on this yellow chair painted with Honeybee DIY clay-based paint. And this is the Botanist Journal Iron Orchid Design Furniture Decor Transfer. I have these transfers on my website, Shabalot.com. There's a lot. I mean, they're so beautiful too. And Iron Orchids also does stamps, so furniture stamps. Well, I shouldn't just say furniture. You can use these things on anything. It doesn't have to be furniture. In the midst of these 30 days, I will be doing not just furniture. I'm going to be doing canvas work. Actually, I might do a canvas work right after this chair. I think I'm going to do some canvas work with the DIY paint, and I like to use the IOD stamps on my paintings. I like to mess up my paintings with lots of words and lots of distressing, and they come out abstract, mixed media. What I'll be painting is the beach. I'll be painting the ocean. And I'll be using the Iron Orchid Designs, the name of the stamp, Kindest Regards, it's called. It's like a love letter. It looks like a love letter. So I'll be stamping Kindest Regards, a love letter all over a beach scene. That's going to be my first canvas that I'm going to do with you guys. That will probably be Sunday, because tomorrow, we will be sealing this chair. So when you come back tomorrow, I'm not going to do all the transfers tonight live, but when you come back tomorrow, I will have put all of this will be done. The transfers will be all done. And we'll seal it, which does not take long, so maybe we can even start the canvas after we seal it. I'm just moving everything out of the way because I need to get to this. I need to get to this flower. Up here. I need to see it. Ugh. I think I needed to cut it. So I just took that little top off. There's lines, grid lines on these, the backings that these are on, so that I could cut a straight line. So I will go back and add that on when I can wrap myself into this chair. And I'll bring it up a little bit and wrap it around inside here. So that'll look cool. So don't feel free to use your scissors on these transfers. It just makes the process a little bit easier. I want to go back over there now. See how it just does that? Releases on you. What?
Are you still filming?
Yes. This, yeah, I'm just putting this transfer on the chair. It's not that exciting, but it is pretty when it's done. I think it's the humidity. I'm not sure. It's just not releasing very well. Well, now that I've said it, it's gonna totally release now. Okay. That's good. Yep. Here it comes. I do think it's the humidity. There it goes. All right, now that's on. It looks beautiful. Okay, so let me lift you up a little higher so you can see. And I'll be taking the, everything looks so crooked, there you are. I'll be taking the little piece that I cut off, and I'll just kind of, I'll probably cut it down the middle and fold it into that space. So that'll go up on top there. But I think I'm done for today. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what time it is. No idea how long I have been on. And I don't even know who has been on, because I haven't really even been looking at the comments because I've been so focused on this transfer, because you need to focus a little bit on them, because you don't want them to go on too haphazardly. You know, you need to have a little bit of order to them. So day 5 is in the books. Whoop whoop. I think 5. I've got 25 more to go. And I love doing it. I love connecting with you guys. And thank you for popping on. And so tomorrow, all the transfers will be on this chair. And we'll seal it. And then we'll decide when we're going to do our canvas. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the hearts. Thank you. Thanks. We'll see you soon. Be safe, okay, everybody? Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.